Amazon. You've probably heard of it. Well, what I've always wondered is how can they keep their prices so low? How is it possible, with such small profit margins, for them to invest such massive amounts of money into research and development? Well, the answer to that question comes in the form of a small little side hustle of theirs called Amazon Web Services. It's one of the largest parts of Amazon that is not very well known. What is it? Why is it so important? And have you been using it without even realizing it? All those answers are here and more at Techonomics. Hey, it's Carlos, always trying to provide you with insight on technology and how it's affecting you and the world at large. Amazon Web Services. It's another vertical under the Amazon umbrella. But before we talk about its importance with relation to the company as a whole, let's take a step back and get some context. Okay, what's AWS? Well, according to Amazon, it is the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform. What does that mean? Well, it's complicated because it can be many different things depending on what you want to use it for. This is just a small subset of the more than 175 different products considered to be under AWS. Okay, let me simplify it a bit. So, Amazon Web Services is really just renting out space in a server that's connected to the internet. And a server is really just a computer that's running a program or set of programs. And the more you pay for the service, the better or more specialized that server is going to be, which results in better performance for the programs that you're running. What makes AWS so special is that Amazon is one of the largest and most successful tech companies in the world whose security and level of expertise is virtually unmatched, making the fees a very small price to pay to use the exact same servers as the Amazon, as opposed to building it and running it yourself, which has a pretty high upfront cost, and that's without even taking into consideration you're going to have to maintain it down the road. Also, AWS has so many different products that you can use their servers for everything from file storage to hosting a website. It's cheap, secure, and fast, making it a no-brainer for most online businesses or applications. Now that the pitch for AWS is done, let's talk about its impact. To put it simply, AWS controls the internet. They control roughly 33 to 34% of the cloud computing market, even with competitors like Microsoft and Google. And while that might not seem like that much, once I tell you who their customers are, it might be easier to understand how impactful this industry truly is. Customers like Netflix, Twitch, the BBC, and Twitter. Here's a list of their top EC2 monthly customers. And remember, this is just one product, EC2. All these customers are probably paying for other products as well. The top 10 customers for this one AWS product alone generates a whopping $109 million a month. And that's just the heavy hitters. You can imagine what other companies are using AWS, and the list is only growing. I think I've made it pretty clear why it's so impactful in our lives. But now let's see why it's so important to Amazon as well. The importance of Amazon Web Services with respect to Amazon is really all about the money. And while that might seem kind of obvious given that corporations care about money, let me go through Amazon's finances so you can understand just how valuable AWS really is. At this point, given the source of customers they have, it should be no surprise that AWS brings in a ton of money. In fact, in 2020, they raked in $45.4 billion in sales. Here's a graph of Amazon's total sales. As you can see, that $45.4 billion only accounted for 12% of the total. In comparison, North American sales, which was way more focused on retail, accounted for 61% of sales, which totaled $236.3 billion. North American sales dwarfs AWS. But that's sales. How does the story change when we start talking about operating income? According to Investopedia, operating income is defined as an accounting figure that measures the amount of profit realized from a business's operations after deducting operating expenses. So how much profits did AWS bring in? Well, in 2020, AWS's profits totaled $13.5 billion. Now let's do the exact same comparison we did before. North American profits, on the other hand, totaled $8.7 billion. This means that while AWS only made 12% of the revenue, they managed to bring in 59% of the profit, while the North American segment only managed to scrape by with 38% of the profit despite making 61% of the revenue. Meaning that for every dollar that AWS brings in revenue, they get to keep 30 cents in profit. It's basically printing money as far as the business is concerned, especially because of the server infrastructure, which was already necessary for Amazon's existing businesses, so it wasn't an added expense. It's for exactly this reason that the replacement CEO for Jeff Bezos is coming from the AWS side of the company. The conclusion is quite simple. AWS brings in so much money and revenue that it's able to compensate for the losses in other parts of the company. The way this manifests in the real world is Amazon is able to price products ridiculously low to make them more competitive, knowing full well going in that these products are not going to be profitable. And they're only able to do this because AWS brings in enough money to compensate for the difference. But I'll leave it to you to decide whether or not you think that's right. Okay guys, thank you for watching another video. Please smash that like button if you want to watch more videos like this one. It helps with the algorithm. This is Carlos from Techonomics. Over and out.